Information you need to know about diabetes. Know how we can prevent and manage it. Facts and knowledge about hypertension. Knowing your numbers and their meaning. Tips and guides to staying healthy. From diet to exercise. Watch and see all of them here in SugarBeatPH. The Gets Pharma Philippines cardiometabolic social media platform.
Good morning, sugar beaters. Welcome to our Saba Doc session. Today's special guest had his studies as a doctor of medicine from the De La Salle Health Sciences Institute. Completed his specialty training in psychiatry from Makati Medical Center. Holds his private practice in general psychiatry in Makati. And a psychiatry consultant of Child Fam Possibilities Psychosocial Services Co. Let us all welcome Dr. David Raymond J. Valderrama.
Okay, good day po sa inyong lahat, no. So andito po ako para pag-usapan natin ang mental health, no, lalo na sa pandemic na to. So, before I start, gusto ko lang po i-share sa inyo isang quote galing kay Ian McLaren, no, which says na, "Be kind. Everyone you meet is fighting a hard battle you know nothing about." So, very important siya lalo na sa panahon ngayon. Okay, so ito ang magiging flow ko ng discussion. Hopefully, I'll be able to meet all the goals na nilagay ko dito. So we'll be talking about mental health, especially during our current na situation, possible mental health issues, how to mitigate or bawasan ang negative effects of the crisis, and when to seek professional help. Okay, so to start off, I just want to define po, no, what mental health is para lang sa kaalaman ng lahat. Okay? Kasi minsan iba-iba ang pagkaintindi natin kapag sinasabi natin mental health. So ang mental health according to the WHO is defined as a state of well-being, no, in which every individual realizes his or her own potential, can cope with normal stresses of daily life, can work productively and fruitfully, and able to make a contribution to his or her community. So in short, no, what we're looking at here is balanse dapat ang buhay. Oo, masistress tayo in daily life, no? Sino naman ang hindi nasistress? Pero sana nababawi pa rin siya, na nagiging masaya pa rin tayo, na nakapag-contribute tayo sa komunidad natin. Okay? So, sa sitwasyon natin ngayon, I think lahat naman mag-agree sa akin na we are in extraordinary circumstances, no, these days. I mean, ever since last year. So, itong virus na to na kumakalat, parang isa siyang malaking preno sa buong mundo. No, even if, sige, nag-break ang mundo for several months, no, starting last year, up until now, I think gumagapang pa rin tayo, no, and we are not even sure kung kailan tayo babalik sa normal. So, itong mga problema na to can cause us psychological distress. Okay? So, there are a lot of factors given itong pandemic na to na pwede tayong magkakaroon talaga ng stress or distress. So, let's tackle each and every one of them. So, first and foremost, no, yung takot natin sa sakit, no? Fear of the virus itself. Is para sa atin man o pwede para sa mga kakilala natin, no? Sa mag-anak, sa kaibigan, and so on. So especially those na may comorbid na sakit, no, tulad ng diabetes sa hypertension, hindi lang kailangan nyo, no, is not only to look at sa physical, no, na health nyo, kundi kailangan din na aware kayo sa mental health. So second, yung isolation and change of routine. So ramdam natin talaga to, no, lalo na nung March last year nung biglaan na nag-lockdown. So lahat tayo bawal na tayo lumabas. Hindi na tayo nakakapagtrabaho. Maraming businesses na nag-close, ang daming na layoff, no, from work, which leads us sa next na factor, which is financial problems. So hirap talaga. This is globally actually. So the next one is loss. Okay? Not just sa, let's say, personal nating kakilala, kamag-anak, mga kaibigan, no? Pero every time you open social media, no, lalo na mga panahon na to, tapos sa news, no, ang dami niyong nababalitaan. Kahit sa friend of friends nyo, kahit sa kakilala lang, or even kahit hindi mo kakilala, ang daming talagang kumakalat sa newsfeed natin ngayon about mga nawawala. Okay? So next is, I think, hindi na to kailangan na explanation, political issues. No? Even ang pandemic, tingnan mo, colored na by politics these days. So para sa iba, parang maliit lang to na problema, pero in actuality, no, it is a source of stress for all of us. Okay? Ang bigat dalhin. Okay? And of course, ang pinakamabigat sa lahat, uncertainty of the future. Hindi natin alam kung saan papunta to. No? Hindi natin alam ano mangyayari next year, 2 years from now, even 5 years from now. Hindi natin alam kung mababalik pa ba ang dati o hindi na. Okay? So, itong lahat ng factors na to can produce distress, no, to the point na baka hindi nakakayanin ng isip natin na lumaban, no, or to cope. Kapag umabot tayo sa puntong yon, no, psychological problems may arise. Okay? And etong tatlo na nilagay ko dito, these are just tatlo lang, no, out of sa marami na pwedeng mangyari. Pero itong tatlo ang pinaka-common na lumabas. Kaya I chose to discuss these with you. Pero I'll try to be as less technical as I can. Simplihan ko lang para maintindihan siya agad. Okay, so let's jump to the first one. So itong una, no, this is called an adjustment problem, or if you follow sa psychology or psychiatric na diagnosis, an adjustment disorder. So itong problema na to, this is usually the first, no, that comes out. So magiging response natin to a stressor, no, or a crisis or a distressing situation wherein we develop emotional or behavioral symptoms that is not in proportion to the trigger, no? So kahit let's say maliit lang na problema pero ang reaction natin sobra-sobra. Okay? So sa emotional and behavioral symptoms na makikita dito, pwede dito ang depression or anxiety. Ang pagkakaiba nilang sa depression and anxiety na diagnosis is that ito, initial lang ito, acute. No? So pag natanggal mo sarili mo sa problema or nawala ang problema, pwede talaga mawala rin ito. Okay? However, kung tumagal, no, it can create further strain sa isip that would probably lead to ang next natin na problem, which is anxiety. Ang anxiety naman, okay, it is a state of worry, no, na persistent, hindi matanggal, na bawat araw na lang, bawat pagising mo, no, nag-iisip ka na nag-iisip, hindi na tumitigil. Okay, so overthinking. Usually ang iniisip mo, worst case scenarios. Okay? Or gumagawa ka ng assumption tungkol sa kinabukasan na wala ka pang pruweba na pwede mangyari. Okay? So, ang isip mo rin dito, punong-puno sila ng what if. Okay? So, nakakapagod. Pero, ang anxiety by itself, no, it is supposed to be adaptive in nature. So, ibig sabihin, nakakatulong kasi parang hinahanda niya ang isip at ang katawan mo, no, for the coming problem para makapaghanda ka rin at alam mo anong gagawin. Ang problema lang, kapag tumutuloy ito, nakakapagod. No, isipin mo lang na nag-overthink ka for 7 days straight or longer. Okay? Upos na ang isip mo by then. No? Pag umabot ka sa puntong yon, pwede na pumasok ditong ibang symptoms ng anxiety tulad lang, for example, irritability. No? Ang hirap na mag-concentrate, hindi ka makatulog, no? Even physical manifestation. Ang katawan mo, makakaramdam siya kahit wala namang problema. Let's say, sakit ng ulo, sakit ng tiyan, pagkirot sa dibdib, okay, pagtatae, and so on. No? Pwede yan with anxiety. So, ang problem din with anxiety, dahil nga nakakapagod siya, it can further deplete, no, ang kakayahan ng isip mo para pa lumaban. Pag upos na talaga ang isip mo, ang next na stage na pwede mangyari dito is already depression. Okay? So, ang depression, ang kaibahan niya sa kalungkutan, no, ito ay malalim at mabigat na kalungkutan. Tapos, non-stop din siya. Okay, tulad ng sa anxiety na every time gumigising ka, may naramdaman ka, ito, every time gumigising ka ang bigat. Okay? Na parang hindi ka na makaahon sa kalungkutan. So, together with the sadness, may iba pang simptomas ito na makikita mo, no? Na like for example, loss of interest, satisfaction, or pleasure. Wala nang nakakapagpasaya sa'yo. No? For example, mahilig ka sa comedy. Kahit nanonood ka, parang hindi mo na magawa na tumawa. Okay? Besides those, other symptoms pa are loss of motivation. No? Parang ang hina-hina mo na. No? Wala kang lakas. Mag-iiba ang tulog tsaka yung appetite mo. May feelings ka of guilt, worthlessness, or hopelessness, na ito yung mga pag-iisip na medyo, hindi lang medyo, no? Pero delikado talaga sila kasi it can lead you to think na wala nang kabuluhan ang buhay, na sana wala na lang ako. Okay? Yun. So, those are, no, the problems that we usually face. So, it's important sana, no, na maalala mo, no, or aware kayo of what to look for para matulungan mo sarili mo or baka makatulong ka sa kamag-anak o sa kapamilya. Okay? Pero sa mga taong may pinagdadaanan na or for those na may lived experience, no, kung nagpapakonsulta na kayo sa isang counselor, psychologist or psychiatrist man, no, please lang, no, huwag kayong tumigil lalo na sa panahon ngayon. Tuloy niyo ang konsultasyon niyo. Okay? Para naman sa mga taong may gamot na binigay lalo ng psychiatrist, huwag nyo din tigilan, no? Kung walang pasabi sa psychiatrist. Okay? Para lang sigurado tayo at para lang din na hindi bumalik ang mga sintomas nyo. Okay? Pero not to say, no, na helpless talaga tayo sa panahon ngayon ng pandemya, no, na wala tayong paraan na panlaban sa stress. Marami naman. Ang difficulty lang dito, walang formula, no, na pwede tayong sundin para lang makatanggal ng stress. Iba-iba talaga bawat tao. No, pero ang pag-uusapan natin dito ngayon, these are just some ways, no, na pwede natin maibsan ang stress na nararamdaman natin. So first of all, no, is a daily routine. Okay? Mas maganda, no, na may daily routine tayo para at least alam ng katawan natin ang sunod na gagawin. At pag alam na ng katawan natin na let's say every day sa ganitong oras, ito dapat ang ginagawa ko. So ibig sabihin, there is less uncertainty. So pag less ang uncertainty, there is also less anxiety. Okay? It gives you also a sense of control sa bawat araw mo. Second one, please, no, do not neglect self-care or ang pag-aalaga sa sarili. Hindi dahil work from home tayo or hindi tayo pwede lumabas, hindi tayo pwede mag-meet sa mga kamag-anak, sa mga kaibigan, no, sa mga jowa o syota natin, ibig sabihin hindi ka na maliligo. Okay? So alagaan pa rin ang katawan. Okay? By taking a bath, no? Exercising. Kung gusto nyo, wear ang favorite nyo na clothes kahit nasa bahay ka lang. No, for others, pwede kayo mag-cologne, mag-perfume, no? Para sa ladies, light na makeup. Okay? Para sa mga may skincare routine, huwag kayong tumigil. Okay? Tuloy-tuloy lang din kasi the more na inaalagaan ang katawan natin, okay, ang moods natin usually also follow upwards. Okay? So together with self-care, I'll just include dito, no? As much as you can, please maintain a healthy diet. Okay? Kasi like I said kanina, kung masigla ang katawan, sumusunod pati ang utak, no? Tsaka yung emosyon. So another thing that's important, please maintain connection with other people. Okay? Lalo na if you are living alone. No? It takes as much as 30 minutes lang each day, no, to talk to somebody and feel better about it. Especially these days na sa mundo natin, technology makes the world smaller, di ba? No? So please make use of it. No? Call somebody, call a friend, a family, no? Or if you're up for it, no, there are platforms where you can talk to other people randomly. Okay? You can make use of any of those. And fifth one, which is also very important, please maintain your boundaries. Okay? First and foremost, lalo na sa mga taong nag-work from home, sa mga estudyanteng nag-online classes, please maintain a boundary between work or responsibilities and leisure. Very important siya. Okay? Kasi these days kapag, let's say, nagtatrabaho tayo sa loob ng bahay natin, isipin mo na lang lahat ng stress that you accumulate, no, will also spread within the household. Okay? So if you don't create that boundary, each time you wake up, no, what you would first look at or first remember is the stress from work or school, no, or your responsibilities. Okay? Pero not just between work and leisure, pero of course boundary din between people. Okay? Between you and your friends, you and your family, and so on. Okay? So this is also a good time to advise people siguro, no? Be assertive pa rin of what you need. No, if hindi kaya, okay, be courageous enough to say no. No? Especially these days nga na ang hirap, diba? During the pandemic, we have to be a tiny bit more self-centered, no? In terms of preserving our mental and physical health. Okay? So, for those naman who are starting to become overwhelmed already by school or work or any other problem that you might be experiencing ngayong pandemic na to, no, try to refocus onto something else, something that you can enjoy. No, for example, those people who have children, no, or pets, spend more time caring or playing with them. Okay? Or you can spend time doing hobbies that make you happy. Let's say, for example, knitting, sewing, cooking, carpentry, art, or music, no? Things that are somewhat repetitive in nature but will require a majority of your focus. Okay? Kasi it can pull your thoughts, no, into now instead of you overthinking about what might come tomorrow. Okay? So, yes, no, we are in the social media generation these days. Pero the social media or news, no, as a whole, they are a source, no, of negative information which might trigger you, or if not, be a burden, no, for you whenever you read them or hear from them. Kaya if ever it is a burden or a trigger for you, try to avoid social media or news for that matter. Okay? Until such time na siguro that you're able to withstand, no, the negative information. And then, no, if you have the capacity to, please do help others. In helping others kasi, it gives us a certain amount of control also over our lives, no, na kahit ang hirap ng buhay natin ngayon, kaya pa rin natin pala gawin mga to. And it gives you that satisfaction. That will make you feel at least more positive than you used to. And for those who have religion and still practicing the religion, please pray. No, praying to your, relying on your faith or having faith, or praying to the deity that you believe in. No, it is actually an indirect, no, na method of relinquishing control. Okay, binibigay mo na sa Diyos na pinagdadasalan mo ang tadhana mo, in short. Okay? So, another reminder, remind yourself that all this problem that we are experiencing, it is temporary. Okay? And if possible, amidst all the problems that we are facing these days, try to look at the brighter side of your day. Okay? So, when do you need to seek professional help? No, either for yourself or for another. Number one, when in doubt or when you are confused. No, so kung hindi mo alam ang pinagdadaanan mo, pero alam mong nahihirapan ka na, or if let's say kamag-anak mo or let's say kaibigan mo, ganun din ang naramdaman, then advice dyan or recommendation is to seek professional help already. Second is when safety is at risk. So when I say safety sa larangan ng mental health, it's mostly either harm to self, no, or harm to others. So if you are experiencing, no, onset of dark thoughts, no? Thoughts na this is no longer worth it, na wala nang kabuluhan ang buhay, na sana wala na ako. Okay? Or if your friend or family, no, starts relaying thoughts like that, no, that is a signal, no, that professional help is already needed. And then third, it's when functionality is suffering persistently. Okay, so pag for example, hirap ka na hindi ka na makapag-function sa trabaho or sa school, or even in your relationships, whether it's within the family or kahit sa friends, no, or intimate na relationships, when functionality is no longer a tip-top shape, no, then I think it's time already for a consult. Okay? So I think I'm nearing the end of my discussion. So before lang I finish, I'd like to share lang quotes coming from my two mentors in the past, no. So Dr. Teresa Villasor in 2017 in one of her seminars said na Filipinos are social people. Relationships heal. All else merely serves that purpose. And then si Dr. Banaag, he mentioned this in a seminar also last year lang during the pandemic. No, he said na talk to someone. If you trust someone, try to connect and talk to that person. It will help relieve some of that anxiety, or talk to the hotline. No, talk to somebody professionally prepared to listen. Okay? So with that, this too shall pass. So thank you for listening. Okay, so may mga konting katanungan tayo na pumasok, no? So I'll go through each one of them and I'll try to answer them as best na kaya ko. Okay, so first question na pumasok, how could I help a friend if we see that they are already having a hard time? Okay, so good question. Okay, especially these days. So the best thing that you might be able to do, no, if you are not a professional, is to support, no. Simply put, listen, no? Nandiyan na kayo para makinig. Okay? Tapos assure your friend that you are there, no, to support them. Okay? However, in terms of that, no, you have to also be very careful, no, not to invalidate any of the emotions that they feel. Kasi I mean, there are times sasabihin nila na okay lang yan, wala lang yan, mawawala lang din ang naramdaman mo. Okay? That in itself, although parang ang positive ng dating, it is already an invalidation, no? Now what you feel is so mild, no, and very simple. Okay? So if, let's say, hindi mo alam anong sasabihin, it would be best to just stick to asking, let's say, how can I support you? Ano maitulong ko para sa'yo? Or ano ang magagawa ko para sa'yo? Or, kung wala ka na talagang masasabi, just say na, oo nga, naintindihan ko na nahihirapan ka. Okay? And like I mentioned a while ago during sa discussion ko, if you are confused, no, or you don't know what to do, it would be best to recommend that your friend seek consult already from a professional. Okay? So I hope that answered the question. So I'll go to the second question that came in. So, will I be given medications if I consult? Okay. Not always ang sagot dyan. No, it will depend on kung ano ang level ng distress mo. Okay? Kasi kung kaya pa lang naman ng counseling or therapy, no, or kaya pa lang naman na kailangan mo lang ng mailabas ang sama ng loob or ng suporta galing sa isang professional, no, it won't lead, no, to you being given a medication. Pero if, for example, like I said kanina din sa lecture, no, na ang functionality mo is continuously suffering already. Hindi ka na makapagtrabaho, bawat umaga na lang umiiyak ka or takot na takot ka. Okay? Then it might be grounds that you might need medications already. Okay? So, there. I think the next question is a follow-up to that. No, ang tanong kasi is, will I become addicted to these medications? And will I need them forever? Okay? So, sa medications given by psychiatrists, not all medications will form dependence. Okay? So there are only a few medications like that. And no, if ever naman you will be needing any of those types of medications, for sure ang psychiatrist mo will explain. Okay? Hindi naman yan agad-agad kasi na isang inuman mo lang addict ka na sa gamot. No? It won't happen like that. It usually takes years, okay, for dependence to form. So don't be too worried about it. No? And in case na may follow-up questions kayo regarding that, it would be best kung tanong muna kayo with your psychiatrist, no, before agreeing to the medication. So doon naman sa will I need them forever? Okay, ang short answer is not necessarily, no. So hindi naman kailangan forever ang gamot, lalo na if you respond, no, and if let's say nag-therapy kayo, no, or if you're undergoing therapy wherein tuturuan ka kasi kung paano lumaban, no, on your own doon sa mga stressors na hinaharap mo. Okay? But ayoko na magsalita ng tapos kasi there are some, no, cases wherein ang medications might be needed for a lifetime. Okay? So don't be disheartened kasi if ever that needs to happen, it will mostly be just a moderate dose, no? Hindi naman kataasan. Okay? And for sure, your psychiatrist will also be on top of that. Okay? So try not to worry too much about it. Okay? Mas maganda pa rin stable ang mental health natin. Okay? So I think this is the fourth and last na question that came in. What should I do if my friend starts talking about suicide? Okay? So yun, no, any talk about suicide is a red flag in terms of mental health already. I'm sure if ever you have a friend na lumapit sa'yo tapos sinabing ganito, it is stressful to hear, no? Nakakatakot. Sa simula siguro kukurot yung dibdib mo, no? Hindi mo na alam anong sasabihin. So when that happens, no, when a friend reaches out to you saying that, remember first and foremost, do not panic. Okay? Do not get ahead of yourself. Listen, no? Listen to your friend. If nag-open up ang friend mo sa'yo, ibig sabihin, may tiwala siya talaga sa'yo. Okay? So, listen, no? Offer your support, no? Offer your assurance if ever meron, pero don't let it be a false sense of assurance. Okay? And kung hindi mo na alam talaga anong gagawin, no? It would be best to suggest to your friend na maybe it's time, no, to consult a professional. Even siguro a psychologist will do initially. Okay? Para lang may professional na advice agad or recommendation. Okay? But, no, if ever hindi talaga gusto ng friend mo, let's say, okay, under the law, no, confidentiality between when it comes to mental health can be dissolved in case of risk to safety. Okay? So in that regard, no, if ever takot na takot kayo para sa friend mo, no, pwede kayo mag-contact doon sa, let's say, parents niya or a legal guardian. Okay? Ang goal naman natin dito is the safety. Okay? If ever I was in that position, sige, bahala na magalit siya sa akin. No, bahala na kung friendship over na kami, na nagsumbong ako sa magulang niya, as long as safe siya. Okay? Anyway, later on, pag-uusapan naman yan. Okay? So, I think that is all the questions that came in. I hope na I was able to answer all of them. Okay? So, thank you for sending those questions. 5. Okay, guys. So, parting words lang siguro before I end this video is one thing na paulit-ulit kong sinasabi sa mga pasyente ko lagi, no? As much as possible, no, try not to expect. I know marami sa atin ang nag-expect na sana by next year wala ng pandemic, na next year mababalik natin sa dati yung buhay natin, no? Pero mahirap, no? And whenever we expect, no, na paniwalang-paniwala ka talaga na magiging normal na, let's say, by next year, you are setting yourself up, no, to frustrations. So it would be better to lower your expectations, live each day siguro looking at the present, or at least just a few days or a month ahead at most. Okay? But try not to expect. You can hope for the best, no, but don't expect. Okay? So, I'd just like to add, kaalaman tungkol sa diabetes at hypertension, mag-follow at subscribe na dito sa SugarBeatPH. Okay? So, thank you again for giving your time to me.
Thank you to our guest speaker for providing us another informative virtual session here in Sugar Beat. For more information like this, please like, follow, and subscribe to SugarBeatPH social media platforms. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Do you have a question about diabetes and hypertension? Our chatbot is ready and at your service. Please send us a message on our official Facebook page Messenger and we'll try our best to get back to you with the answers. Consult your doctor while you're at home with Dokoto telemedicine application. You can download this to Apple Store and Google Play Store. Once again, thank you for joining us and see you again on our next program.